Saint Hilary of Poitiers lived in the mid-300s, in what is today modern France. He was born into a pagan family, and was well educated in the pagan manner, especially in Greek. An intelligent man, not satisfied with pagan answers for the meaning of life and the theology of God, his search for truth eventually led to his conversion to Catholicism. Such was the respect the Christians of Poitiers had for Hilary, and his learning, they unanimously elected him their bishop around AD 350. Hilary vigorously defended the Church against the Arian heresy, and so was exiled by the Roman Emperor to the eastern part of the empire. In the East, Hilary learned even more about the defense of the divinity of Christ against the Arians. Hilary returned to his diocese after about 10 years of exile. Hilary was reported to have called the Roman Emperor Constantius the Antichrist, calling him a tyrant whose sole object had been to make a gift to the devil of that world for which Christ had suffered.
But of fear of the Lord, this is what is written. Come, my children, listen to me. I shall teach you the fear of the Lord. The fear of the Lord has then to be learned because it can be taught. It does not lie in terror, but in something that can be taught. It does not arise from fearfulness of our nature. It has to be acquired by obedience to the commandments, by holiness of life, and by knowledge of the truth. For us, the fear of God consists wholly in love, and perfect love of God brings our fear of Him to its perfection. Treatise on Psalm 127. Man's holiness, justice, and self-restraint constitute God's temple. Such a temple must be built by God. If it were constructed by human effort, it would not last. It is not held together by resting on merely worldly teachings, nor will it be protected by our own vain efforts or anxious concern. We must build it and protect it in a different way. It must not have its foundation on earth or on sand that is unstable and treacherous. Its foundations must be rooted in the prophets and the apostles. Treatise on Psalm 126. We are inundated by the gifts of the Holy Spirit, and from that fountain of life the river of God pours into us in full flood. We also have food prepared for us. And who is this food? It is He in whom we are prepared for life with God, for by receiving His holy body, we receive a place in the communion of His holy body. Treatise on Psalm 64. The final sequel of man's life and death is the resurrection. The assured reward of our warfare is immortality and incorruption, not the ceaseless persistence of everlasting punishment, but the unbroken enjoyment and happiness of eternal glory. These bodies of earthly origin shall be exalted to the fashion of a higher nature and conform to the glory of the Lord's body. On the Trinity, Book 2. Since He was in the Father through the nature of deity, and we, on the contrary, in Him through His birth in the body, He would have us believe that He is in us through the mystery of the sacraments. And thus there might be taught a perfect unity through a mediator, whilst we abiding in Him, He abode in the Father, and as abiding in the Father, abode also in us. And so we might arrive at unity with the Father, since in Him, who dwells naturally in the Father by birth, we also dwell naturally. On the Trinity, Book 8.